more can I say?
Top Billin.
Top Billin to ya. All right, Bug Nation, I guess I don't have to actually do another film study on Tom Brady, perhaps with another squad, because he actually did choose Tampa. So my intuition was right. Tom Brady to Tampa is hard. I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to double back on it and talk about why maybe in a content item. But this really does remind me of Peyton Manning to the Broncos, just for the simple fact that when you saw Tim Tebow play with the Broncos and they had that playoff win, you saw the type of weapons that they had, and you would want to know, like, man, suppose they could fully utilize these weapons. That's not to say that Jameis didn't, right? Jameis did a lot of great things that people need to give him credit for, right? He was in a very difficult offense to learn your first time around, and we may see some growing pains from Tom Brady if they choose to really run it just like they ran it with Jameis. But going back to that, we knew that they had Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker and some of these pieces, and that defense had a lot of good pieces with Von Miller, and I ended up getting DeMarcus Ware. Man, I see the same kind of shit in Tampa. I really do. Like, this team could be very good in a hurry. Not saying that they'll win the Super Bowl next year. However, they could be very squarely in the mix. And then in year two, just like with Peyton Manning and them, all hell can break loose, right? I'm not sure if they wanted to. I think they may have won it like Peyton's third year. However, you just knew that they were squarely in the mix and they were a force to be reckoned with. Tom Brady has those weapons, man. Obviously, we know about the tight ends, O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate, Rashad Perriman, if somehow he comes back. Chris Godwin, of course, Mike Evans. Got to get, to me, a high-level running back. I like Ronald Jones, but he needs to be a complementary piece to a high-level running back. You can get that in the draft, but you have to protect Tom Brady. And this is the man for the job right here. Andrew Thomas from Georgia. I know this kid very well. I've watched every single game of his covering the University of Georgia, and I understand his skill set dating way back to when he was a sophomore in high school. He is absolutely perfect, and he can be a plug-and-play at a certain position, for real. Let's get it. All right, so in focusing on the plug-and-play aspect of Andrew Thomas to the Buccaneers, he can be placed right at right tackle, right, where DeMar Dotson is. Much respect to DeMar Dotson, getting a little long in the tooth. I think it's time for them to make a switch at right tackle, right? So from Donovan Smith to Marpet and all these guys, I think they're pretty good, right? Pretty good. But DeMar Dotson, he has mad holes in his game, and it's time for to infuse some athleticism there, right? So sometimes I don't know how good these guys are, so let's be real about it. They're pushing the ball down the field a lot, and you're working with a lot of 7-step drops. That's tough to deal with. But my man Andrew Thomas, I have a ton of film on him. Let's check him out from his freshman season, and this is some good stuff that a lot of people don't normally pay attention to. But I will now, because I'm guarantee you they're watching my content and cloud chasing like lames do. But check this out right here. He's originally going against a 6 technique who reduces down, right? So he reduces down, but his responsibilities still stay the same. But look how much stuff gets thrown at him, and he still stays the course by blocking what he's supposed to block. He's being disciplined, right? So you see Rashaan Evans being walked up here. So they're going to run a 2-man game, but he's just going to block whatever he sees. So right now he's looking at Rashaan Evans, but it doesn't matter. Now he can feel that Rashaan Evans is sticking his foot in the ground, and they're about to run a wrap. But nope. He gets into whatever comes in his peripheral vision, and he stops Terrell Lewis here, anchors down on him, right? This is a pretty long developing pass play, which is why I'm showing this definitely like a Bruce Arians style. Allows Jake Fromm to get a fade pattern down the field, right? That's some good work right there. Very good eye discipline by that man. All right, so this is South Carolina game from this past season. This is one of the worst high-level performances that you can see in a big spot by an entire offensive line grouping. So I really wanted to concentrate on this game because South Carolina has like 4 or 5 guys that are going to the league. It's one of the most underrated defensive lines in the country, and they kept throwing bodies at Andrew Thomas and these guys. Wanham, this guy right here, Aaron Sterling. Of course, you guys know about Javon Kinlaw. They have a wealth of guys who can rush the passer. But check this out right here, right? Having to hold the ball Tampa Bay style. My man at left tackle now, so he's played left and right tackle. He came in as a right tackle. In his last 2 years, he played left tackle. Check this out. Look at my man, right? Never gets too far over his skis for the most part, at least on his initial kick phase. Sometimes he can stop moving his feet. That's a problem I've had with Andrew Thomas. But look at him stay parallel between the defender and the quarterback, right? He really plays it like it's basketball. I wonder if there's a basketball background. He's usually first. Look at him. I always say be first. He's B first. Aaron Sterling's trying to give him half a man, right, and get up under him, right? So he's trying to convert speed to power. But Andrew Thomas is a lot stronger than people give him credit for. They think of him as an athlete, but he has some strength as well. But look at him get his hands on Aaron Sterling, start to anchor down. Sterling's a strong kid, very strong kid, but look at the anchor. Look at him. Bending those knees. A lot of these guys, they'll start bending at the waist. Sometimes he'll start bending at the waist, if I'm being honest about the situation. But most of the time, he adheres to great technique. See him bending correctly. Now look at it. Now the anchoring process starts just mano-a-mano. Now look at this, right? He's getting his smooth criminal lean on with it. He's doing anything that it takes to anchor. Now look how long Fromm is holding the ball here, right? Nowhere to go. Nobody's open, so you got to hold this for a long time. Usually the ball would be out by now, but he's still continuing the battle. He has stick-to-itiveness, still battling, allows Fromm to escape out the back door. Great work by the entire line, but really great work by Andrew Thomas as he was the deepest of the deep there. All right, back on the left side going against DJ Wanham. Wanham does a good job of lulling him to sleep in this particular play, right? So initially, it looks like it's going to be a quick set. Wanham's not going to do anything. So Thomas actually gets his hand on the outside. Make sure you get your hands on the inside, guys. And Wanham's not doing nothing. Then all of a sudden, he explodes, right? So he essentially got Thomas to stop moving his feet. Now Thomas is in FEMA mode, right? Recovery mode. Look at him, having to try to run and sprint, but that's why you have those long arms. He essentially still does his job. But here's where the problem is. Like usual with UGA, for some odd reason, the interior portion of the line fails him. If you see Solomon Kinley getting beat right here, right in the face of Jake Fromm. So Jake Fromm could have got rid of the ball. Nobody's open. Everybody's going downfield, so it's a long developing play. Thomas chased his man off the mark. However, he gets in the grass, and then his guy gets into the play and makes it look worse than what it is for him, at least. So it wasn't on him, but you can see he can be lulled to sleep. You got to keep that foot energy and be ready for anything. Quick check. How many people are actually at this point, right? A lot of people fake in front like they like trench play, but they really only watch it from doing some shit on a quarterback, running back, receiver, cornerback, or something like that. Let me know. Hit me with a top billing to you in the comment section if you're actually watching this offensive line play and you're a real football head, all right? Back at a left tackle. Now look at the foot energy on this one. I like this one because he shoots the initial punch. First of all, let's look at his mechanics. Look at him. Classic width. Nice height, about 6'4", 6'5", I believe. Now look at his initial kick step. Look at the width right here on this kick step to be able to get depth. Now look on the other side right here with Jamari Sawyer, who's probably more, not probably, he is more of a natural guard, maybe even a center, which is kind of disturbing that he may actually be the right tackle for Georgia this year. But look, he can't get the same amount of width, at least at this particular point in time in his development there. But look at that space created to be able to stay in front of your man as far as Andrew Thomas is concerned. Now look at him. Punch. Real strong. Then reset. Strength's not necessarily his strong point, but having good footwork and good energy, when he has that, he's tough to stop, man. Runs this guy out to play. No chance. Fromm has a clean pocket. Picture perfect. Delivery process on point. All right, unbalanced line. Let's check a little bit of his run blocking. He's got a little club bouncer in him. Not quite like his former teammate right here, Cade Mays, who had transferred to Tennessee, but he can get a little bit of a mean streak in him as well. Now look at him. Inside zone. Boom. Meets the contact. Picks him up, driving strong through the core. Now it's time to get his ass up out the club, right? Keep driving those legs until you get him up out the club. Usher him out the club. So look at him driving, want him, drive him. Get your ass out this club. I ain't going to tell you again. Get him out of there. on the left side, going against Marlon Davidson, who's going to be a very good player in the NFL, in my opinion. One of those combination edge players. Now, Marlon Davidson is one of the strongest guys you can go against, and I think this really shows the kind of stalemate that he was having with Marlon Davidson here. Shows why he could able to drive the other guy, right, drive him out the club. This is a little bit different. Now, look at this. This is where the strength probably needs to improve a little bit. He can't drive, right? It would be in his best interest to try to drive Marlon Davidson off of his mark, but they run into a little bit of a stalemate. And, of course, there's a lot of muddied waters there on the inside. Philly Flyer DeAndre Swift has nowhere to go. Thomas is still working, though. You got to give it to him. He's still working, doing his best, but really nowhere to go right there. But that's a pretty good stalemate with a Marlon Davidson that shows that he's not weak by any stretch of the imagination. And he's able to go against a guy like Marlon Davis, and they had quite a few of these in this particular game. All right, hashtag Real Men Watch to the end. This was a blunder going against Aaron Sterling at the end of this South Carolina game. He gets in this kick step phase, doing pretty good. But what did I tell you? Sometimes he can get a little bit lazy, as all offensive linemen can, right? Get a little bit lazy. He's initially anchoring down. Looks like he's done. Then he starts getting too far over his skis. Sterling's a much shorter player than him, right? I think Sterling may go 6'1", 6'2", or something like that. So he has the leverage from that standpoint, and he makes Thomas bend at the waist, starts bending at the waist, and he gets shrugged off. That's it. And then gives up a QB hit to end the game from not able to get the ball downfield for the Hail Mary. All right, so you see what he's about, man. He's a fantastic athlete. He is a franchise tackle. He's a franchise left tackle, in my opinion, but he definitely can kill it on the right side to begin his career while there is a Donovan Smith in town. He could eventually probably take over for a Donovan Smith in the future, but you can plug him in right away, and he will do very good on the right side just because of his athleticism. And, of course, it's going to be up to Arians and Tom Brady and my boy Byron Leftwich to really start working that mid-distance and quick game to get the ball out of Tom Brady's hand, because it's not like Jameis was that good of an athlete, but he was a better athlete than Tom Brady, and he's going to need help because his offensive line is not as good as it was in New England, but it can be a lot better, and I think he'll make it a lot better by being able to get rid of the ball faster, but they have to commit to doing that. And we know that Arians and Leftwich love to push the ball downfield. So it's good to see a blend of concepts and a blend of thought processes and see what kind of offense they come up with. All right. But let me know, Bucs Nation. Make sure you continue to spread this around. All right. If you want me to continue to cover Tampa Bay as a primary cover here on the site and eventually do even more, we got to get this thing rocking. Take this to your message boards, all your sites out there, Facebook groups and everything, and let's get this rocking. Because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I want to do Tampa Bay. Been rocking with Tampa Bay ever since my Gators, Riedel Anthony and Jaquez Green were there, and those Super Bowl years and all. I've not missed a Bucs game. So, all right, so there we have it. My home away from home. Let's do it. Central Florida area. Top Billin Sports. Make sure you subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I am the Underground King, Murf Baldwin, and I am out. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.